This is The Amateur. It's a 2025 movie. It's described by Dennis Schwartz as a vigilante revenge action pick, directed by James Hawes, and it's co-written by Ken Nolan and Gary Spinelli, and based on a 1981 novel by Robert Little. So 43-year-old Charlie Hellier, played by Rami Malek, remember him as the Freddie Mercury in the Queen film. He works as a desk job as a data analyst for the CIA in its headquarters in Langley, Virginia. He lives on a restored farm with his corporate wife Sarah, played by Sarah Brosnahan. They are childless but have a happy marriage. She goes alone to London to attend for 5 days conference on climate change, and at a London train station she's randomly taken hostage during a terrorist attack and is killed as seen on CCTV footage taken on a surveillance video. Charlie's request to go after the terrorist is laughed off by his bosses, the CIA director Alice O'Brien, played by Julian Nicholson, and his supervisor Moore, played by Hoyt McKinley. Charlie's determined to go after them, especially when learning the CIA has its reasons for not going after them. Somehow he mysteriously gets Endo Henderson, played by the legendary Lawrence Fishburne, a no-nonsense retired military colonel, to train him, and Charlie then goes rogue and quickly learns who the 4 terrorists are from the info already made public. Working with a mysterious backer from Turkey whose name is Inquilene, he learns more about the terrorist attack. He then goes to France, Turkey and Spain, locations to track them down and assassinate them one at a time. Heller, enraged at the news that his wife has been assassinated, makes it clear that he wants revenge, and the CIA appoint an old relic, really, the Colonel, to teach him. The Colonel's played by Lawrence Fishburne, looking a long way ahead of that young boy we saw on Apocalypse Now back in '79. Anyway, Heller manipulates the situation by appearing to be genuinely wanting to learn the ropes of how to chase down a killer and eliminate him. Basically manipulates the situation to the point where once he's a little bit more aware of the training, the intelligence necessary to be successful as a killer working for the CIA, then he escapes, and we have a period, a nostalgic flashback to a gift, a sort of propeller airplane that's given to him by his wife, as Heller then goes about carrying out his newfound skills to track down those responsible for his wife's murder. And we see him in London. Heather then goes about tracking down the gang responsible for the death. His first target is a woman. He finds out that she's allergic to pollen, buys some flowers, tracks her down to her office. It doesn't work out as he planned. His lack of skills really and awareness, and eventually she escapes, but for him, fortuitously, ends up splattered on the road as she runs into a sort of van travelling at high speed, and so Hella grabs her phone and then departs. It appears that he's going to clumsily try to achieve his aim. Going back to the review, Dennis Schwartz's review, some of the detail on there, I don't know how he got to know about it, because it's not explicitly made obvious from the visual. This is where I don't know whether it's my lack of awareness or whether it's a plot that's absent in its detail. Anyway, the 4 people that are in this group that he wants to track down, and apparently CIA don't want him to find them, and when he uses the Colonel Henderson to train him, that's something he does off his own bat. So anyway, Helen starts to work with a mysterious hacker called Inqualine. How this partnership comes about is a complete mystery to me, but she's around and assisting at the time that the CIA are tracking them, because they don't really want to find out the details of who carried out the terrorist attack. It's a little bit like the current sort of state of affairs with false flags when incidents take place. So for that I would applaud them. However, it's done in such a clumsy way that it reminded me really of a very poor version of the Bourne films. Basically, Rami Malek isn't Matt Damon, and his sort of rather pasty, dry character makes it hard to really grasp the fact that he would be capable of carrying out such an event. So anyway, back to the review. Dennis Schwartz, in delivering a C verdict, his last line, he, I think, just about sums it up. It's a preposterous film that might be entertaining, but it strays too far from logic for my taste. Meaning, my interpretation is it's a load of rubbish, and I'll be lucky to get to the end of this one. I'm really struggling with these new wave of movies that are around around last year and this year to find any that are decent and understandable. There are some interesting ones. Asteroid City was a good example, but they're a little bit more problematic to decipher. Return to my fourth check on the amateur, and arrived at what seemed to be more like a game board, really, with lots of AI shooting going on. How long I'm going to last on this movie is debatable, it has to be said. Back end of movie now, and we see a scene that captures your visuals, I guess, where he's tracked down the third, he's tracked down where he thought the third person was who was involved in the death of his wife, and he's managed to get this man tied up near his vehicle, which has an explosive device on it, and he's trying to gather the contacts as to where he shall find this third villain who has clearly fled, as two of them have disappeared. And the extra noises on this now are courtesy of the reason why I don't copy these. I don't create these videos immediately to video because of the noise. So it's still plaguing me, even on audio. And so we've basically got a situation where he extracts the contacts from the phone and then obligatory kills him as he walks off into the distance, having done a complete U-turn now, and he's replaced the terrorist with his terrorist activities. It reminded me there that incident what it would have been, what would have been put on screen back in the 60s when we had 007 James Bond finding out where these terrible folk were, and it would have certainly been softened up. We wouldn't have seen the explosive end to one's life as graphically as we see in this one, but I wouldn't consider it to be off limits. Far from it. It's almost beyond belief. So, in conclusion, the amateur, released last year, I was hoping that this would be quite good. Impressed with Rami Malek when he took on the role of the Queen, Freddie Mercury. To some extent, it's sort of updated version of the Bond flicks without the sort of sex, but it got a little bit dark and a little bit too, Soviet bloc type of plot, and I felt that it lacked spice. It was too dark, really, and so difficult for me to recommend this one.